As soon as I have to take it in video, like do the ultimate rivalry. Hello everyone, it is day one, or my first full day in Kyoto. Got a lot planned for today. I'm going to be checking out a lot of temples, mostly on the east side of the city. I've got a little bit of a loop planned or something like that, and I plan to end the night in the Gion district, which is known for its beautiful stone paved streets and older Japanese style houses and buildings and whatnot. So I'm going to go grab a bite and then we can get the day started. Let's go. This is the sprint this morning. Our start today is on the Philosopher's Path, and this is a path that runs, let's say, about 2 kilometers or so, and it runs through 2 temples, which we're going to be checking out on the way through this path. So it should be a pretty good time. I'm going to be trying to take in as much as I can, so this is going to be a little bit of a tour together.
Fortunately, the path from where I was up to Ginkakuji was quite short, and the whole length of it, actually, the Philosopher's Path runs along this kind of river thing, and it's really, really pretty because there wasn't that much wind on the day, and you got to see a really nice reflection. Then there was this marketplace kind of hill just before the temple, but more on that later. For now, let's just enjoy the temple.
Well, I can kind of see why they call it the Ginkakuji. You can really see why they call it the Ginkakuji. The roof really does make it look like it's kind of covered in silver. It's not as shiny as I was thinking it could be, but it's still really nice. It's about time to head back down. We gotta keep moving.
With the first temple down, I was starting to get a little bit peckish and I was looking for a snack. When I went to that little market hill earlier, I actually spotted a neat little thing that I'd never tried before, and it led to this conversation. これ実は何ですか？
これチェスナッツ。
チェスナッツ。
Yes.
ああ、食べたことない。
食べたことない。
その前に。
日本語上手。
そんなことない。じゃあ
はい。
130グラムでお願いします。美味しかったね。チェスナッツ。日本語で？
日本栗。
栗。Nutty boys in one hand and a beautiful view ahead of me. I continued down the Philosopher's Path, but honestly, the view just spoke for itself.
Another thing that's kind of surprised me so far that I never really gave any consideration to was just how many Shinto shrines and stuff you can find around the various Buddhist temples here. Because I mean, in the West, there's a history of not having that harmonious exchange. I mean, it's a little bit better now, but I mean, you still kind of see it. But here, like, Shintoism and Zen Buddhism are the 2 biggest religions, and like inside of a Buddhist temple, there are places for people who believe in the Shinto faith to pray, and I think that's really, really nice.
I kind of had a string of temples that I was going to cut through next to my next main tourist attraction, but one thing that was really, really cool about checking out all these buildings, and it's a feeling that I felt throughout this whole trip, was really like the sense of time that comes with visiting a place like this, because like some of these buildings were built, before North America was even reached by Europeans. To put that into perspective, like it's mind-blowing in that sense. And it's also kind of like a nice blend between old and new, because sometimes you'd find kind of these things that were built a little bit more recently, and you know, it's a little bit more familiar.
Made it to the Kyoto incline. It's a 582 meter long slope that just kind of goes down or up depending on which way you want to take it. I played it smart. I'm going down because I'm not going to climb this shit. No. But it used to be part of a power plant facility. They'd ferry boats up and down because just behind me over there's a canal. But nowadays it's mostly just used for pictures because it has a bunch of cherry blossoms going down and up the incline. There are a lot of people here right now. It is a very, very popular space. There's a crowd actually. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to cut through, but we'll see. Man, there are so many people here. This is wild. Oh, there is a crowd. Excuse me. Excuse me.
The trip down the Kyoto incline was really, really pretty, and I mean, I've been seeing cherry blossoms pretty much all day at this point, but to see them all kind of like lined up and perched over this whole railroad was really, really nice. And you know, there was a lot of people there, which made me think, like, I'm catching this at a super good time, because even though there's a lot of people now, you know, at the time that I was there, the borders were shut and tourists from other countries weren't allowed in. I can just imagine what it would have looked like in these places if there were tourists from all over the world here, which normally there are.
I've made it to Yasuka Shrine, and it seems I'm catching it at a good time because there appears to be some kind of big festival going on, so it is packed with people. It's so many people. They got all kinds of stalls of food, they got all kinds of games, you name it, it's all here. So I'm going to take a look around, see what this shrine is all about. It's the first Shinto shrine I've been to today, and then maybe I'll pick up a bit of food and try something that I haven't had before.
Unexpected festival was unexpected, and if you remember back when I was in Sapporo during New Year's, there was a festival going on, but this was like that on steroids. I mean, they had things of every single kind. They had clothes, they had food. It was crazy.
Alright, so here's what I settled on. I got this thing, which I don't really know what it is. It's like some kind of wrapped up cabbage thing with onions and mayo. It's got fish flakes and green seaweed on it. Should be pretty good. And just some corn, but they dip it in soy sauce and then they roast it on a fire.
I stuck around at the festival for actually quite some time. I think I was there for maybe, 3 hours or so. Just kind of walking around, checking out the sights. Obviously, there's a lot of cherry blossoms, but that park in particular is known as, I think it was a national treasure to be preserved for its natural beauty, which was kind of cool. Anyway, so I stayed there for some time, and it actually finished off on a really, really nice sunset just before I started headed off to go up into Higashiyama.
Alright, so that was the festival at the Maruyama Park. It's fun. I hung around for about 2 hours just checking things out, looking at the trees, as one does during flower-looking season, I suppose. Anyway, I'm on to the last stop for today, Kiyomizu Dera, and I'm hoping to see some nice sights there. The sun just went down, it was real nice. So hopefully they start lighting things up and I can get some good shots like I did yesterday. Yes, these stairs are like the final challenge before you get to Kyoto or something like that, because I don't know, they're awfully steep.
京都駅の方戻って駅で食べたらいいね。
Alright, we made it to the temple. There is a shit ton of people here. It is unbelievable. But this thing's pretty tall up there. Still climbing stairs.
では、10点お預かりいたしましたので、600。
Alright, I think we're coming up on the money shot here. The supposed view of 1,000 views. You can kind of see it. Oh, yeah, you can see the whole city. Oh, man. Check this out. This is crazy. How's that for a view? I don't know if it gets much better than that. If it does, well, you guys will see it too. But for now, that's crowd thickens once again as we begin to dive deeper into this apparently infinite shrine. It just keeps going. It just keeps going. I don't get it. It just goes and goes and goes. So I guess it goes all the way over there. We follow the lanterns. It brings us all the way to that, and then down. I think that's where we're going. Look at that, eh? Look at that view. So I do believe that I'm approaching the end game here. I said that earlier with the other picture, but I really think this is where it's at. This is where everybody is. Like, it's packed. There's a wall. Hold on, up there. All right, look at this. Just a sea of people, just a wall getting in right there. I've never seen people like this before. This is nuts, man. It's so packed here. Like, I almost think it was a bad idea to come on Saturday. The views are quite worth it, though. I mean, look at that. Just a couple more rows to the front, almost there. So many people. From a little bit of a different angle without people breathing down my neck, trying to eat my face off for pictures. Freedom. I got the shots, guys. I got the shots. I think there's one more part to this temple. It's the bit you seen in the distance there, that tall pagoda style one. Is a path that I'm on now that kind of brings us to it. So hopefully we can see that before we go. All right, finally I got some light. So that was that. That was something. I don't think I'll ever get a better view of a city than that. I mean, Mount Moyo in Sapporo was one thing, but to do it from the top of a 500-year-old Buddhist temple is a whole other thing, you know? It's just got these feels to it, man. It was something I don't think I'll forget anytime soon. Anyway, I gotta make my way back down this monstrosity of a hill to get to the Gion district. And I'm gonna wander around there for a little while, see if I can't get up to something cool. All right, well, I'm headed to the Gion district. I'm gonna see if I can find something fun to do. I think I'm gonna end this vlog here. So,